right, so let's get this here. Editor. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Welcome, everybody. This is the highly anticipated, never ever copied pre-ramble section of the Painting with Menoth John show.
I can't even with a straight face on that.
I know, right?
Yeah, never copied from the guy with the podcast that copied.
Oh, no, that's fine.
no, look, it's the circle of podcasts.
Oh, I mean, if they're, according to Stephen King of Iowa, that without incest, really, would there actually be anybody alive anymore? So, you know, we got that going for it. Nice job, Iowa. Stay classy.
Little slow clap for Iowa there.
Oh, my God. Anyway, so, well, welcome, everybody. You didn't think it was possible for us to do this more times than twice, so we did it again.
This is three. That's called a streak, sir. We're on a streak.
We have now, I think, done more episodes than Battle Charged. No. Shots fired.
We're shots fired.
All right. Start out of the gate hot. You know, that's the way I like to do it. Hey, Sassy Greyjoy's in the house.
Hey, Sassy.
So yeah, well tonight it's as you can see, I've upgraded the pre-ramble screen to now say what the episode number is and what the title of it is. Yeah.
Choose technology.
I know, right? This is God, I cleaned my glasses and they got worse somehow. Hang on.
That's why I have like microfiber towels everywhere. My glasses are so terrible nowadays; they get oily and messy. I'm like, how does this happen? And does it just fly onto my glasses from my face or something?
I know, Jesus. Right? Painting with Menoth John, where we make heavy breathing a part of the show.
Without being creepy.
I know, right? So I do have a microfiber towel here. It was over on the work desk over here that's right next to it. I have a... So I got a souvenir of the Italy startup. And it was they core drilled a hole in some of what they call Politiana, which is the like ceramic floor material that they had. And I got it's really interesting to look at because it's got all kinds of different like agglomerates of different rocks and whatnot. And I've got that as a paperweight. I mean that was a long story to say I have a paperweight. That happens to have a microfiber towel. Anyway, so tonight on the Painting with Menoth John Wednesday night extravaganza, there could have been a bear that I would paint, or there could have been an old man, meaning Sevi Zero. And because I was forced to work a whole full day, I actually didn't have time to do anything else because I needed to go to the gym. With my son Jacob shamed me into making sure I got to the gym.
Oh, gym shame.
Crimson, what up, dog? So, thank you for being here, and thank you for being a part of tonight's show. So, I'm going to paint a bear. We're going to start the second bear of the hooch hauler, and then I think I'm going to give it a... after I get this bear done, I'm going to bear down on a base for... the colossal for Retribution that I never finished.
Yeah, your paint schedule's downright barbaric.
Oh, I barely have enough time to paint these days, but this show really helps.
Sorry.
Technically, a bear could be an old man. You're absolutely correct, and we're not judging by any stretch of the imagination. So tonight I'm going to be painting a bear. Originally, I had teased that I was going to use some of the GW contrast paints, but the co-host with the most, Mr. John Spencer, has influenced my decision in a proper manner, and we are not going to do that. Hey, Necro Miles! So we know Miles. You may have known him back before he was exclusively a 40K player, but Miles is our good buddy from Michigan. I'm not going to give any last names because you wouldn't call yourself Necron Miles if you wanted the last name out there. But thank you, Miles, for being a part of the show. We appreciate you. And that's what we appreciate about you.
I'm getting my Miles confused now.
This is Miles.
Miles and Necro Miles.
I think it's the Miles that I'm thinking of. Facebook Miles from
It's one of
Michigan.
those Miles.
Yeah. You know, he's miles from here. Whoa! Man, Man Off John comedy. Stand back. Waka waka.
It only gets better, folks. It only gets better.
Can't get worse. So tonight, you know what we haven't brought back, John, that we need to resurrect from the dead?
Zappity Grumble?
Flippity bloop. Yeah, Zappity Grumble. No, it's Flippity bloop.
Flippity Bloop.
Flippity bloop. That's right, we ripped that shit off.
That's right.
Massachusetts. Okay, Miles, this is a different Miles. I'm Miles. I apologize for you confusing you with the different Miles, but we are sure happy to have you on the show.
Yep. He only plays BattleTech.
Well, there you go. So
I got you back, Miles. I wasn't sure if I was confused or John was confused or Dwight confused. God, who knows?
I don't know. At my age, I just roll with it. You know, beg for forgiveness later.
Today was I was living a Garth Brooks song all day.
You got friends in low places?
You know, that's what my roommate said too, actually. But no, it's I'm much too young to feel this damn old.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. I was having a crisis of conscience earlier today. I was having a little bit of paralyzing ennui, a little existential dread, if you will.
Oh shit!
And I had a nice conversation with my boss, and then I felt a whole lot better. So that's good, you know. When things are bothering you, talk to your boss. Sometimes that's a good idea. Sometimes it's a terrible idea.
So, lastly named John. Occasionally listens to podcasts.
There you go.
Not that he has anything in common with them besides movies.
There you go.
But, you know, he's a cool dude, and we help each other out. I make him feel better sometimes, makes him feel better sometimes. It's all good.
Yeah,
Nothing like having a boss you like.
Yep, I have a tremendous boss. He's got a lot of years of experience making coffee. Learn something from him all the time. Has the best recall as far as of stuff that happened in the past. Dude can pull documents out of the ether like nobody I've ever worked with.
I hope to say my boss can pull historical events that most of us don't remember.
Oh man!
Like out of nowhere, he's like, "Oh, this reminds me of this and this." I'm like, "Holy crap!" And we are the old men of our particular team, so all the rest of them are youngins.
Yeah.
And I just really feel old all the time.
Yeah, I hear you. So I mean, it's so it was good. Good one. My existential dread melted away. The ennui evaporated out into the ether. Stopped feeling like a Cure song. It was, or Morrissey, something like that.
That's a great thing. I feel like a Cure song today.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Oh, that's great.
Which, you know, I think the Cure get a little bit of a bad rep because if you think about things like a lot of their songs are quite happy. Some of them aren't, but a lot of them are. I
really enjoy the Cure overall. Morrissey's a bit more, you know.
I know.
Downer.
Yeah, he's so much work. Jeez Louise, he's a lot of work.
That's why I mostly listen to what I like to call shitty 80s rock, covers, and ska, because I can be upset.
Yeah, you know, I'll tell you, it's so it's a good day. It ended up being a good day today. Got a lot of work to do tomorrow. But what's that?
Didn't have to use your AK.
No, just hey. By the way, FBI and Kate, because I know you're listening. That we weren't. That was. I don't really have one.
He doesn't have a gun. That's me.
No, I don't have one.
And my gun is not does not have a high capacity magazine or anything. It has an internal magazine. For those of you who don't know, look it up.
Okay. Well, what magazine is it? Popular Mechanics?
No.
Popular Science?
I mean, they could probably look at old Popular Mechanics and figure out what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So, I mean, Popular Mechanics, for those of you who don't remember, is it still published?
I don't. You know, Google knows about. Find out.
I think Popular Science is. Popular Mechanics used to be in the bathroom. My dad used to subscribe to Popular Mechanics and Popular Science, and I.
Oh crap! It's still going.
Hot damn! I actually credit those two magazines with helping to engage my imagination to become an engineer.
First issue date January 11th, 1902. Total circulation as of 2017, 1,208,642 copies. That's quite impressive.
That is impressive for a paper document type thing.
Do I save that? Ron.
Hey, Ron.
Oh, wait to hear what I'm drinking. This is good stuff.
Yeah, wait to hear what I'm drinking. It's not not as good.
Oh.
I'm keeping myself straight tonight.
Well, for the preamble, I was drinking some Snapple peach tea mixed with this Jim Beam peach, which is only mediocre by itself, but pretty good mixed with the peach tea.
Hey, there you go. Hey, by the way, Crimson had a great. My gun has no quarter prime as its magazine, so it doesn't so it doesn't have one anymore. Put up.
Shots fired.
There you go, folks.
Shots fired all over the place.
Ha cha cha.
Oh, it's like we never left.
That's the best. I mean, of all the podcasts that was called Painting with Menoth John, we were the best.
Absolutely.
So there you go. So the role-playing session I think is full now for Friday night at John
Awesome.
Con. I had 7 spots, and then my boy Jacob wants to play in it again this year. So we're closed up, folks. If you wanted to play in the role-playing game, you're out. But tune in that Friday night because shenanigans are afoot. Once again, we are live streaming the Painting with Menoth John role-play spectacular hosted by GM Dan with your opportunity to donate money to the food shelf overseen so that you can have awful things happen to the party. And the more money you give, the more awful it can be. So
last year, I really thought I had lived and actually succeeded in part of my goals. and
then
the
you
Sea
did.
King showed up, and, the bog trog lived.
Yep, the bog trog lived. And that was the story of that RP. Charles likes to remind us that the bog trog lived.
Hey, you got props for the bog trog living. I mean, he was the right critter at the right time.
That's right, folks. So I think that the group will be somewhat disappointed that my polar bear is no longer a polar bear, but is like I don't know what he is. A dirty brown bear? I don't know.
Can we say that?
It's a dirty brown bear. He must have known Jeffrey Epstein. He's a dirty brown bear.
Oh, shit. We're topical tonight, guys.
Heck yeah.
Holy crap.
Folks, we're just like CNN, except we paint and stuff. They don't really do that as much. But boy,
They
can
don't
we...
drink on the air. We do.
That, yeah, well, they should. And,
Actually, I think the Fox News guys drink on the air. That's the only explanation I can think of.
I'm pretty sure they're riggedy wrecked 100% of the time.
Oh,
Could you imagine how freaking racist that channel would be if they got riggedy wrecked and really like their guards came down? Holy Christopher.
At that point, I think it would just be like, you're like, this isn't real. This is like The Onion on TV. It's gotta be.
Exactly.
To be fair, when I saw the Jeffrey Epstein article that Nathan Hoffman shared, I'm like, oh, he's sharing The Onion again. They look like, oh, wait, that's not The Onion.
No. Nope. Every time you think the freak show can't get worse with that clown, it just goes into another level. There's
the world off the chain when you can't tell The Onion from real life anymore.
Welcome to to Trump's America.
Oh, Necron Miles got base coat done. Hobby Street Day 1 starting again. That's my man.
Boom shakalaka. Hey, for that, I'm gonna give you a hey Ron. Hey Ron. You know, folks, if you don't show up for the pre-ramble, you don't get all the Rons you're entitled to.
True.
We don't charge by the Ron on this show. No, we don't. So you can't. There might be other shows that do that, but not on this one. We'll sell you the whole show, but you're only gonna need the Rons.
Painting with Will John. That podcast gave me the Rons.
Oh, snap. Man, okay, we're back in the t-shirt business, folks. We're back in the t-shirt business.
Oh.
That show gave me the Rons. Man.
Oh, God.
We were only if only we were like vaguely associated with an honest to God game system still. We could be huge.
I mean, I don't even know anymore. I just want to play some games and have fun. I don't care what game it is so much.
So I look at the Marvel game and I'm like, yeah, it looks great. I just don't have anybody to play with, and it's my whole miniatures gaming crew moved to the other side of Milwaukee, and it's an hour one-way drive to get there. And I'm like, Jesus, Palomino. Thanks, guys.
El Marshall moved. He's about 45 minutes to an hour from me now. But you know what? It's worth it. Sometimes it's worth it. Like on a Saturday, that's worth it.
So here's the way I got it. You know, Tuesday nights right now I'm role playing with the beer the beer RPG crew. So doing that Wednesday nights when I'm home, Painting with Men Off John Wednesday Night Spectacular.
I don't know why I'm posing for the camera. The camera's not.
I know, but it looked good. You posed for me, and I appreciates that. You know, John, that's what I appreciates about you. And then then the rest of the week I want to give to my family. So
that's fair. I mean, I'm at the point now where I realize I'm really close to spreading myself too thin, and that's a weird feeling.
Yeah, you gotta be careful about that, man.
Yeah, I mean, who knew it was all this much? Riot Quest. I'll tell you, Crimson, if one of my buddies buys Riot Quest, I'll try it, but I feel like if I tried Riot Quest, it's called Warhammer Underworlds.
Is Riot Quest based? I heard that it's got a system that's not that different than Monpok.
I don't know. I haven't seen it played yet. Most people are basing it, and it's not like pure rules, but sort of like the idea of it off of Warhammer Underworlds, Shadespire and all.
Oh, okay.
Which are fun, quick games, but they're not gonna. I feel like that's a game that probably could encompass you. Some of my friends got into it because it's on Hexboard. It's super competitive. You don't have any measurement shenanigans.
Yeah.
Because one of our locals stopped playing War Machine of Hordes because he says, model gets knocked. You both say it's not going to bother you, but at the end of the day, it bothers us.
Yeah. I don't know. It's technical difficulty. What about? Hey, Lonely Monk is here. Yay, Lonely Monk. What's up, buddy? Is anybody else having any technical difficulties with us?
I don't hear anything there, but
okay.
Who knows?
All right. Well, or perhaps.
Oh, you might think it based on the screen we're on. It's a new screen.
Oh yeah. Yep. No, don't worry. This is the pre-ramble. It's just different than it used to be. And
that's been around so long, we're changing it up. Even though we're only back for 3 episodes, we're changing it up already.
Oh yeah, I mean, the stream to start soon, honestly, is a bit of a misnomer because we start streaming and then we talk for a half hour. But then, just when you thought that we were just going to talk at you like this, boom! The old show's format shows up and breaks down the wall and goes, "Oh yeah!" and comes right through, and then it's Painting with Men Off John. So,
which is the Kool-Aid Macho Man.
Yeah, exactly. Not sure if it was Kool-Aid Man or if it was Macho Man Ravi's. It's Randy Macho Man Kool-Aid, or Randy Kool-Aid Savage. How long do the real broadcasts start? I mean, let's be honest, Lonely Monk. Real broadcast? Come on. Can we be serious? No, the real broadcast starts in about 13 minutes.
I don't know, John. I have told people at work that I am technically a professional Twitch streamer.
You absolutely are. I mean,
technically I make money. It's not a lot of money.
No, it's not a lot of money. It's more than I make, and so.
I can put that on my resume. I won't.
No.
Help me get a job.
It's not. I mean, roasting.
John, you rambled on and got drunk on the podcast. Yeah, I mean, that's what we do.
So the topic of the podcast came up before a group meeting started at work, and one of the guys asked for the address to the Twitch stream. So we'll see whether or not this ends my career at Starbucks or not. Although I'm pretty liberal on this thing, so I don't think any of that's going to get me in trouble. And I have nothing good to say about the company I work for. I mean, fantastic company to work for, and they treat their people right. What a shock! Yeah, I mean, putting my kids through school.
Guys I used to work with, in the trucking industry, come and listen to our podcast and be like, "Man, the best thing someone said is most teams have to work for years and years to get the chemistry you two have," which is, it's a great compliment to get.
It is, and I think that's one of our strong suits. Is it's all real supernatural.
Supernatural.
It's supernatural. It's like
which one of the brothers are you and which one am I? I've never seen one of those episodes, so I don't know.
Nor have I. Supernatural. Is that the one with what was her name? No, that was Enchanted or Enwitched or what are the...
People out there are going to twitch because we don't know.
It's like... it's like, I can't be bothered to actually, like, know anything.
I never got into it. Sorry.
God, what's her face? Yeah, she's really pretty. She was the bomb. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Look, I'll be honest. If it's not like Stranger Things or Altered Carbon or freaking The Expanse, I'm probably not watching it.
Oh, you should watch if you want to watch something that's about Charmed. Thank you very much. Sassy Greyjoy knows exactly what I'm talking about because she's been a brushhead for a long time. I'm watching. If there's a show, if you want to laugh at Canada, and who doesn't? Letterkenny on Hulu.
We don't have Hulu, so we canceled that one. We've got Netflix and Amazon Prime.
Okay. Find somebody that can pirate it for you, because boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what.
Well, my schedule is so packed with stuff. I haven't seen the current season of Stranger Things yet. That's on my list. I just need things at work to calm down enough that I have a regular week to start. And then after that, we're going to get the CBS All Access just long enough for us to binge watch Discovery because I've heard good things.
Yeah, I mean, the first series I got a little meandering at the end.
I heard it was good sci-fi, but not necessarily good Star Trek. But the second season they said is good Star Trek.
I've heard the second series is solid, and I have not seen it.
Oh, if you need to be convinced, check out some clips online. The guy who plays Captain Pike is fucking great.
Cool. Yeah, I think I remember him from the first series. But yeah,
he might have been there.
Yeah, the episode of Letterkenny when they beat up the Nazis is pretty hot stuff.
I mean, when Nazis are getting beat up, I'm in.
So the Hicks, who are the main characters of Letterkenny, are decidedly liberal Hicks. They would have no counterpart in the United States, none whatsoever. But it's a quality show, and if you want to get a flavor for it, if you go on YouTube and search for Letterkenny Troubles, it's the web series that launched the eventual television show. It's like 2-minute episodes, so you can't miss it. But got him a full paying gig, and the television show was picked up by something called Crave TV. And they did 6 seasons, 7 episodes each, and the episode. Oh, for fuck's sakes, my dog. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who who used to remember Zaza, my boxer dog, who never made a sound on the show, she passed away in the interim between when Painting with Mouth John ended and the new version came back up. And also there's another dog in there called Zigzag who lived for 8 weeks after I got him. But that's neither here nor there. This is what you're hearing in the background is Chewbacca, otherwise known as Chewy, Chucifer, the Chosen One, Foofer, Fooferdupe, Fooferkins, Der Fooferhund.
Did you ever call it Chewchilla, the Wookiee monster?
Got a new name. Yeah.
You can't go wrong with Hardware Wars.
I know. Jesus. I'm an idiot. All right, so there's another one. He's a golden doodle, rescue golden doodle, because rescue dogs are what you should get if you're going to get a dog.
Absolutely, they will love you forever.
Yep, this was a foofer that was, I guess there's some Amish breeder dude around the area in the local rescue, which is called Wolfgang Rescue. They have a deal that if the dog, rather than them getting destroyed, they go to Wolfgang and they get a home for him. And after Zigzag passed away, they said, basically, you've got your pick. We'll let you know what's coming in. You can pick whatever you want. And they got a hold of me, and they said they had a couple of these golden doodles. They called them designer dogs. And I guess that they can be quite expensive to get from a breeder. And Chewy's deal is his fur is like not super uniform color. It's got some like It's got a lot of different colors to it, which I think is really, really beautiful. And he's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's very, very kind to people. Little kids and stuff, he's just the best. And he's highly socialized from going to the doggy daycare, too, where he eats poo. He likes to eat poo.
Dogs eat poo. That's just it.
He does. You know, some people fling poo. This dog eats it. So, yeah, Sassy, can't wait for you to meet the pupper. He's a good boy. Still got the 3 cats, the Snacky Cat, Theory Cat, and Baby Cat. Baby Cat, well known for putting holes in air mattresses.
Did I tell you the story of the last night with Baby Cat?
No, tell me the story about Baby Cat.
So Baby Cat, I think Baby Cat was the one who was jumping on me the first night and, jumping directly onto my body, and then my body would be like, nope, you're fucking gone.
Yep.
Fling across the room. The other cats learned that they can just jump on the mattress and then walk on me, and I don't fucking care. I'll still be sleeping, and they got a nice warm place to sleep.
Yep.
Last night, Baby Cat lands on the mattress. I'm vaguely awake at this point, a little intermittent, and then walks on my chest with my face, and one of my earplugs had come out a little bit, and just starts meowing at my face. So I open my eyes, pay attention, then Baby Cat purrs, turns around, walks, and goes to sleep between my legs.
Oh.
I'm like, you didn't fucking have to tell me.
Baby Cat's a pain in the ass. That cat, I'll tell you what. The Baby Cat and Chewy are best friends. They are the best buddies. They like to play with each other. They are nice to each other. They cuddle up sometimes. It's very cute.
I'm also pretty sure it's Baby Cat that stole my boxers.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
It's fine. If you find what's left, just throw them away. It's okay.
I haven't found any boxers that I don't recognize, so maybe the cleaning lady got it.
In pieces then.
Yeah, Baby Cat. Sassy Greyjoy is a fan of the Baby Cat.
Oh, I'm not a fan of the Baby Cat. The Baby Cat needs to not be an ass.
Fact. So tonight, folks, in case you hadn't turned in super early, tonight we're not going to be painting the old man, which would have been Sevi Zero. We are going to be painting a bear, which will be the second of the 2 bears. We'll be showing off the bear that I completed this week, which is the first bear of the Hooch Holler, and then we'll have 2 bears done. And then I'll have no recourse but to start painting the goddamn Hooch Holler.
That's true. At that point, you're committed.
I'm committed. Got to paint the damn Hooch Holler. Then I also need to make a base for it, because I think it needs a special base. Even if it never sees a table ever, it's going to need a special base. Something.
A little bit of base work goes so long in a model. I mean, it just goes so far.
I think this is where I'm going to try and make. I want to make it look like it's kind of maybe going up a hill or something that is snow covered and icy and stuff like that. So it's going to force me to do some stuff with some foam or something.
So probably best bet would be cork as the core, and then around it with like epoxy sculpt or something like that.
Okay.
Depending if you want to make it like a cliff, so you got more room to put the bears and all. If it's longer than the base, you can make it a little bit longer but raised up, so if it gets on a table, it's not a scorn model.
Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes how you see the mammoth is kind of kicked up a little bit. That's kind of what I was imagining. And then with like snow and ice coming off the sides of it and whatnot. So we'll try to get a little fancy on that one. We'll see if we make any progress on it. But tonight, I'm gonna paint that bear. And the bear I'm painting tonight is the one that has its mouth open and is growly. So we're gonna be painting the growly bear tonight. So, well,
I will be getting on to the basoning.
The basoning.
I have a bunch of bases primed and ready to go, and I just need to start putting colors on them.
Oh, super sweet. Well, we are T-minus 2 minutes and counting here until literally the internet receives us into its own, and we provide you what can only be described as a video podcast.
That is, I've never heard a better description of our show, aside from some random shit.
We really don't try to set the bar too high. We just want to. We're there. We're not Critical Role.
We are not Critical Role.
No. If you tuned into Critical Role, I'm not sure what you're thinking, because it's twitch.tv/menothjohn.
Those guys have standards.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Those guys.
Not so much.
We're getting paid. I mean, they're getting paid. We're on a shoestring.
We're hopefully making money for charity.
Yes. So please, folks, If you're watching this and you're enjoying all of these shenanigans and whatnots, get down below, click that little button where it says donate. The Streamlabs one's fine, but they take a cut of that. But if you do the one that says donate to it, where it takes you right to PayPal, that's the one you want, because that every single dime of that goes to the charity. So get on over there, and if you can afford to pay, $1, $2, $10, whatever, it's all appreciated. We like the kind that the jingles. We prefer the kind that folds.
Goddamn right.
So, anyhow, so let's what do you say, John? You want to kick this thing off?
Let's kick it.
All right, here we go, folks. You've tuned in to the Painting with Menoth John Wednesday Night Extravaganza. Coming at you. Here we go. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can paint with anything, but there are certain parts of your body you wouldn't want to do that with, perhaps. We will leave that to your imagination. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You have tuned in to the final form of the Painting with Menoth John Wednesday Night Extravaganza. If you're tuning in right now, well, by God, you missed 30 minutes of content. We'll not say anything more about it than that. It absolutely was content and cannot be described any differently. I am, of course, your comely host, Menoth John. You remember me from when I was younger, but now I'm older, and here we are tonight. And up there in the catbird seat, you love him, you know him. He is the co-host with the most, Mr. John Spencer.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we had a choice of anything that we could have painted tonight. We could have painted a bear. We could paint an old man. We could have painted a base for something. And, John, you may have a little bit of that in store for tonight, don't you?
I do.
And he's going to be getting his base on. It's all about the base. About the base. About the base. And no trouble. Anyway, so we are going to... but I, of course, will be painting a bear because I suck at preparations. So
I'm barely prepared.
I was barely prepared for the show, and I barely had anything to paint. So we're going to go ahead. Yeah, no body paint, no crotch cams tonight, none of that kind of stuff.
I'm not guaranteed no crotch cam. I got a new view for my cam.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we'll sell you the whole podcast, but you're only going to need the crotch cam. John, you're wearing a very special shirt there, aren't you?
Let's see if we can get any of this in the
oh, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing right now the very exclusive 2019 John Con t-shirt there featuring the new logo with Menoth John as an armored type guy. One might think it's a Warcaster, but we are not system specific on this show. And you can see that it fits him a little bit. It runs a little on the small size, doesn't it, John?
Yeah, it's like a 1.5. It's 1.5 XL.
Yep. And so, keep that in mind, folks. There is a swag store. If you're looking down below, you click on that. It'll take you right to the old shop.spreadshirt.com/JohnCon. I think I got it right.
I got 3XL one just to make it fit right.
And you ordered a 3XL and it came in about an XL and a half? Oh, 2XL. Okay. All right, so remember that, folks. You can get those shirts, that swag, That money, the proceeds for it, 100% are going to come to the charity. Ladies and gentlemen, we are 100% the only painting podcast right now that is on this channel where every dime goes to charity. Not a single dime is diverted into our coffers at all. My dog's sitting over here trying to make food show up in a bowl that is clearly empty. Anyway.
Let me know how that works.
Yeah, well, bless his heart. So, hey, as we are wont to do on this show, what are you having for a beverage this evening, Mr. John?
Well, I have some Kraken rum mixed into my Barks root beer.
Kraken rum and root beer sounds absolutely delicious.
It is very good.
It's very good. We should come up with what should we call that?
I don't know. I'm sure they have a name for it, but hell if I remember.
Well, we'll have to come up with one at some point. If it was Dad's root beer, it could be Dad's Tentacle or Dad's.
I think that's a phrasing one. That's probably phrasing.
I think that was a hentai. Okay, and I am having.
We can call it a Kraken bite because since Barks has bite and it's a Kraken rum, so a Kraken bite.
That'll be a bite your Kraken. All right, so there you go. So I am having a LaCroix. This is part of their Curate series. It is the cherry lime. So it's like a strictly worse Sonic. So yeah, here's the deal. I ate a bag of corn nuts after I had eaten my dinner, and I felt like, what's that?
Willingly?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I ate like it was like 190 calories, and I didn't want to suck in a bunch of other calories from there. I'm down 15 pounds, and so I want to kind of keep the drive alive. The drive to 165 hashtag that goes in front. So I'll be having this. So on behalf of John and myself and all of you who are out there in television land, hey, Ron.
Ron. Well, John, on the good news side, I'm actually weigh about 17 pounds less than I thought.
Hot damn tamale. Good on you, brother. Hashtag staying healthy in 2019.
Yes. Eventually we'll drop below 3 bills.
Let's see. What else are we going to talk about here as we get going? Ladies and gentlemen, we talked about it very, very recently on the pre-ramble. We talked about looking down below there. You've got a button to press to donate to the show. You want to hit the one that says that where it takes you right to PayPal, because that PayPal pool is what is directly donated to the charity. You can hit the Streamlabs thing. Don't know why you do it, because they're going to take a hit of that. And if you press the other one and donate directly to it, it helps the charity directly. So if you can do that, that'd be fantastic. Johnny, you still there, my friend?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm just.
Oh, you're switching camera positions. Oh, look at that. There you go. Folks, we're giving you hobby before the hobby. So wow, your camera's delightful.
Yeah, it's brand new. This is the new view. It's sort of a side view.
I like it very much. Well, I think you're inspiring me here, John. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get the painting cam rolling here on the Painting with Manoth John show. As you can see, folks, I am fully prepared for tonight's broadcast. I have the blue glove of love. We're going to go ahead and get that started. I am a left-handed painter. That means I'm sinister, right?
Yeah, sure.
And let's go ahead and let's show off this bear. I have not sealed this model yet, so I got to get on that. But as you can see, here he is. He's a lot less polar bear than he was the last time y'all saw him. He's got some white on him, but he's kind of more of a... He's kind of like a brown bear that is going gray or something. But he turned out okay. I mean, for the first model I've painted in a year, I can't argue. So this is his brother. And as you can see, he's been zenithal shaded, and I've done some sketch work on him to get him kind of the highlights pulled up and all that kind of stuff. So we're just going to kind of get after it tonight and start doing a little bit of that voodoo that we do on here at the Painting with Manoth John show. We're going to start off with doing a little bit of glazing tonight with some Manoth white base, trying to get at... Oh, look at that little devil. See what I did there?
Yeah, I'm just... this is one of the guys my base is done on. Sort of multicolored... a cobblestone there. make it look like there's some sort of feature on it. So,
what game is that from?
Malifaux.
Oh, okay, Malifaux, you say?
Yes, this is one of the Oni, one of her, if I can get her in there too, one of her crew. She's got the big mouth in the back of her head.
Oh, well, there you go. That gives no, I'm not gonna say it. Boy, I'll tell you what, I could have taken this into a blue area right off the get-go, and we're not gonna do that tonight.
Yeah.
We're not gonna go blue until the second half hour.
Indeed. But yeah, I'm just gonna do some base work on them because that's where I'm at. I need to get them all the bases painted, then I can keep going. I got a bunch to work on here. Just as I call it, the basening.
The basening. So there we go. We're in the basement with the bases. At least I'm in my basement. So we're just gonna start here with a glaze of Menoth white base. What my original thought on this was that I would use Menoth white base to kind of, because polar bear fur, as I can remember seeing it on the Discovery Channel in between like Dangerous Crabs and whatever other fucking show they've got on that's not
Dangerous Crabs is one of my favorites.
Dangerous Crabs is a good show. Those guys, they got cancer, all of them. They smoke so much. Holy Christopher. All they do is smoke on that show and cuss. Cussing and swearing.
That's true.
Cussing and then they catch the occasional paleo crab. So, for those of you who are playing along at home, we mentioned on the pre-ramble, folks, if you're not coming to the pre-ramble at 6:30, you're missing at least a half an hour worth of potential content that might interest you. And it might not, but you might. And that is, we talked about the RPG session that is going to be at JohnCon 2019. That is now full. That'll be hosted by Beer Machine's GM Dan, the DVK guy. And it is full now with 8 players. My son Jacob filled in that 8th spot. He had indicated that he wanted to play, so we're going to let him play. And he plays in my... I run a standing Saturday night D&D game for the family. So he knows how to roleplay. He knows his stuff.
Good.
Good guy. He's a little bit of a power gamer, though, I got to tell you.
We always start that way.
Yep. So, going to try and... So I play a very theater of the mind version of D&D, because I can't be bothered to learn rules.
They're really more of guidelines.
They really are. The words do exactly what I tell them to. And he Mary Sue's his wizard awful hard. So I said, listen, I'm not super heavy into the rules and all that kind of stuff, but I need you to write down what your damn spells are ahead of the game. I don't think that's too much to ask.
No.
Because
you to pretend to follow just the rules that you know. I mean, come on, pretend.
I know. I can't have you looking through your phone at the table going, oh, look, I found this spell that I might have. This is totally something a wizard could have. And I was like, oh, great, here we go. Yeah,
I mean, that's the problem at that point, though, is you get past the rule of cool. I'm generally the rule of cool. Someone's like, I do this. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Do it. Honestly, if any of you guys want to hear any of it, listen to, currently it's Mediocre Trouble in the Big Easy. We got the episode just dropped this Wednesday. That's today.
Hey, woohoo!
And it's a couple months old at this point because we had a month off because of various events. But there's a lot in that. It's the game of Feng Shui where it's a lot of, like you say, theater of the mind. A lot of the rule of cool. PC's like, I want to do this crazy thing. Like, okay.
Yep. Just walk me through it.
Yeah, just roll some dice. I might ask for an extra roll just to see, if you're lucky, if you're unlucky, what have you. And everything good. Like this past week, to give you guys a little spoiler, premium content here.
Oh snap!
They had this plan where they're just going to sit on top of the bad guys' camp in the Old West and just rain dynamite down upon them.
Dynamite, you say?
Yeah. Well, then the wizard came out and started throwing fireballs at them.
Fireball.
And they're like, well, we're near dynamite, so I'm not going to do that. So one of them jumps down, and 3 of them are up there. One's riding through the camp on a horse throwing dynamite. Then the second one jumps down. Then the third one jumps down, and they've left a crate of dynamite up atop.
Oh.
Well, one of the earth demons had wandered up there through the earth, like they do, to go beat the crap out of him. I was a little confused. There's no one there to beat up on. So Not Brushhead Dave goes, I am going to throw my dynamite into the box of dynamite to blow him up.
Oh,
I'm like, that sounds good. So he rolls, makes a really, really good roll, blows him up, but he starts an avalanche.
Oh.
A slow start avalanche, so they had to, finish up the bad guys and then run for their lives. But a lot of little stuff like that, little. There's good happened. They took a bad guy completely out of the fight in one hit. That's always great. But then they got to run for their lives. And in fact, one of them died because of it, because as he gets hurt, he could go down. But I'm like, there's an avalanche. He's like, yep, I can't just fall unconscious. No one's necessarily going to be able to drag me out. So he stayed up about one longer than he should have, and then ended up expiring after the battle of his wounds.
Wow, that's really good, though. That's good storytelling, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I made it a big deal. They were all, I'm not sure how much they liked the character to begin with, but they were all very nice of him and said nice things. And the large, intelligent talking gorilla that they were teamed up with decided to honor him by taking his sword and honoring him, which they thought was great. And I know this all sounds weird, but it's Feng Shui. It all makes sense in the context of the game, which is actually kind of amusing when you think about it.
I need to pick the core book up for Feng Shui, just to read about it and read the system and such.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the core book, I think, is that and the Game Master's Grant, the only things available for the second edition, because it did not go off quite as well as they wanted it to.
Aw.
It happens. Not every game is going to hit like they want. It's a weird environment for role-playing games. If you're not like that name like D&D or Pathfinder, you got a hard time getting to your, or like Shadowrun, one of the big names from the nostalgia era. You get a hard time getting to your
audience,
getting more people in.
Yep.
But I love the game. It doesn't need anything else. You can build everything with it. It's a good toolkit to begin with.
Very cool.
So you go. Premium content for you here.
You really can't talk about the kind of value that you get with the Painting with Benoth John Wednesday night extravaganza. the value that you get is just, it's unheard of. Most podcasts, they don't give you bonus like secret stuff like you just got right there. Boom.
Yeah, that's like a month ahead of time. You could be hearing that episode for a full month.
There you go, man.
I had a backlog I didn't realize, and then I'm like, oh crap.
You know what you could do? People could be taking bets on this, and now you've got inside information, and you could really make some money.
Oh yeah, if you guys listen, take your bets on who you think died and who didn't.
There you go. And you got
spoilers. Someone dies. There's gonna be lots of tension now when you listen to the episode.
I know. This is great. This is like better than Vegas. What just happened there?
I don't know. I'm trying painting here. So the way I'm painting these bases is I've got 3 colors I'm going to use. I'm trying to keep one to a minimum for like extra parts that show up, extra weird. Like this has got this big square. I'm going to paint that a different color.
Yep.
But I sort of do it in like the front half is going to be this one color and the back half will be the other color to make it look like there's some sort of pattern, to give like the impression of a pattern in the cobblestones.
Yep. That's really a good idea.
This guy who's here has all 3 colors on him a little bit. It's a little too hodgepodge for me in 3 colors. It looks a little much. So, and then, but it's all good. I'm going to see what I can do for little things like this. This might have a ring around things where the other color goes.
The thing I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to use the old painting from inside out type thing. That's a kind of a thing to do if you're a newer painter, is making sure that it'll help you out if you go from the inside to the outside, because if you slop a little bit, it makes it a little bit easier to fix the problems.
Yeah, it helps until you've got like the Dave Taylor type brush control.
Yep, which I don't have.
Apparently, the way you paint so fast is have the elite brush control, which I do not.
I do not have such a thing. It would be great to have that, because then you don't have to go back and fix stuff.
Yeah, but sometimes, as our patron saint would say, sometimes you have a little happy little accent.
That's right.
Something goes happen, you're like, that actually looks pretty good there. I can't tell you how many times I'm painting something, slopped a little bit, and like, hey, I might be onto something cool,
Yep.
and just rolled with it. And of course, sometimes I just curse like in Sailor and be like, I can't believe I screwed that up. I was trying to be careful, and I still screwed it up. Good job, John, you dumbass.
Crimson just was in a little bit, had a little bit of shock and awe that being in the gaming industry was not easy.
No, it is not easy money. Sorry. We're telling all the insider secrets right here. It is not easy money.
In fact,
Uh,
I've heard horror stories.
yeah, me too. I mean, honestly, you want to hear a horror story? Ninja Division.
Oh God.
I wish those guys nothing but the best, even though they owe me a ton of stuff. Because I mean, they're trying. Most other people get to the point they're at, health problems for their people and all this bullshit happen, and they'd be like, "We're out. We can't fulfill it." They're like, "No, no. You know what? We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get you what we promised." And you know what? I respect that. Even if they never actually get to it. Unlike other groups, there's like, you can buy other of our shitty products that's about to be obsolete because we don't have the license anymore for the stuff we didn't get you.
Yeah.
Or you can suck it. And I'm like, all right, I guess I suck it then. Because I ain't buying more crap.
Or you end up with like a pyramid scheme.
Yeah. I mean, I like Kickstarter. Honestly, in the media section, I'll be talking about the result of a Kickstarter a little bit. Oh, snap. Give you guys a little preview there, too.
Boom. You know, a lot of podcasts won't give you previews like that. We just gave you one for free. Boom.
So, but yeah, I respect that. It's not easy in the gaming industry when shit goes wrong. You don't have the same safety net some other industries do.
Yep.
And honestly, gamers, I mean, we can be harsh as fuck.
Yep.
We are all pretty internet savvy. When someone doesn't deliver, we unleash the hounds.
Yeah, people need to
Go to
calm
town
down.
on them, which a lot of time they deserve it, but sometimes they're just trying to make it there, make it do. We don't know what their plans are because they can't necessarily talk about their plans.
And sometimes people just need to calm the F down.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, let's say, for an example, Ninja Division doesn't deliver. You know what? I'm out some money. Shit happens. It's just money.
Not for
These
nothing.
guys lost a lot of their life and have nothing to show for it, really, except hard times and probably crippling debt.
Not for nothing, but they are a lot. When you back a Kickstarter, yes, there's an expectation it will fulfill, but there is a definite chance it will not. And
You pays your money, you takes your chances.
yup.
And we all want them all to fulfill. I mean, that's why we back them, because it's something we love. But if it doesn't, try and be a little understanding,
Yep.
These are still people who are having hard times. And yeah, some of those guys probably could have done better than they did. Probably should have done better than they did, but we're all living the dream and have, at least most of us are backing Kickstarters, have a fair amount of disposable income, and we can take a hit like that.
Sometimes these are first time people dealing with manufacturing, and what they've done is they've stepped up to the frickin' S level nonsense, which is international manufacturing. Yep. Manufacturing is bad enough. When you start factoring in a country that is as straight up challenging to work with as China, and China is no joke to work with.
Oh yeah, I mean, I backed double six dice, which are 12-sided dice that are 1 to 6, 1 to 6. Because back in the day, his whole premise started with, cubes are not designed to roll, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to start with a truthful statement, so let's hear what you got.
Yep.
So he had the absolute best Kickstarter ever. It didn't deliver on time, but that's not why it was the best. It's because he was so damn transparent. He's like, you can look at any of the documents. This is how much we paid our, if you will, intern who is in China, who's a native, who went to the factories, looked at what they were making, dealt with the people there. I mean, it was freaking legit.
Yep, that's really great.
And he's got a second one coming up here that I think I am in on too, because I'm back to old ways. I'm a dice whore again. Got dice? I'll buy dice. You got cool dice? I'll buy cool dice. That means cool dice, not Q dice. Fuck those dice.
Those are so hard
Sorry,
to see.
Private Press. I hate them. They're terrible.
They are nasty.
If you like them, hey, more power to you. I ain't gonna. I mean, I hope you can read them, and I trust you because that's what's gonna have to happen.
Yeah, those dice are more a social contract than they are a gaming tool.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, most people who have them, I just trust them. I'm like, all right, cool. If you need to cheat with your dice rolls, with your Q dice, it is what it is, right? You're not gonna worry about it. I'm making some progress on bases.
I'm getting a fair amount of fur on this guy. The thing I'm struggling with a little bit here is I'm getting. I don't know if it's because of the colors I chose to zenithal shade with. The typical white. I'm not seeing the kind of contrast I wish I would see, which is what led me to put Agrax Earth shade on the other bear, which turned him frickin' brown.
Well, if you need to try sepia, I mean, Agrax is great, but sepia is a good mid-tone. It'll give you a different sort of look. Maybe less brown and more, more orangish brown. Lighter brown.
Great minds think alike, and that is exactly what I was going to try on this guy.
Oh, great minds think alike, like you said.
But I'm glad to have the confirmation. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I was going to do Agrax on these bases, but I'm like, you know what? I think it would overpower and darken them down to be. I mean, if you wanted sort of like realistic, but I kind of in the comic book color theme here.
So Crimson just said try Athonian Camo Shade. That green would be a good shade for warm whites. Interesting.
No, I can actually see what he's talking about there. It's counterintuitive, but it's actually not a bad idea.
Is that a shade like a wash?
Yeah, it's an actual wash. Honestly, I'm going to be trying in the future some of the foundation paint, not foundation paints, foundation paints. Fucking showing my age now. Contrast paints as washes, because they are basically just sort of heavy pigment washes. That's why they're meant to be like one thick coat, basically. I should probably cover this one better. That's right.
So now, okay, so I've got stuff everywhere. So now what? Whoops, no, I don't. Never mind. Save this for a second here. I gotta get some on the parts that no one will ever see.
But someone might. We know it's not there. If we don't paint the part, we're like, oh, we know we didn't paint it, and it bothers us. It wakes us up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat. We grab a paintbrush and we take care of that problem.
Boom.
It's over dramatic a little bit.
That's okay. We like drama. I mean, not a lot of drama, just the right kinds.
We like fun drama,
not people drama.
Drama, yeah. Not like, oh, this. Like, no, go away. I don't care about your drama.
So I'm building up a little bit more saturation on the colors, which is what I kind of want to do now. Let's see, something doesn't look right. Maybe it's that arm over here. Gotta get a little more paint down here. I gotta give it a little bit more love. Give it the business.
Give it the business. There you go. Episode 3, we have now given something the business.
Fuck yeah, we're back in full swing. There's most people, when they're bringing back a podcast at 170 episodes, they're gonna ease into it. Not us, man. Fuck, we got pedal to the metal, bitches. Speaking of which, we're in the movie section tonight. Fast and the Furious.
That's right. Oh, I tell you, John, the hardest part of being on 2 podcasts to talk about movies, watching movies. I'm like, holy crap, what did I get into?
Well,
to be fair, I've been slacking off a little bit for a while. 1 movie a week. What kind of shit is that?
Well, I'm glad that I can help you with that.
Yeah. I have a ton of movies. In fact, I think for you guys, for you brush heads out there, I will be finishing the entire Fast and the Furious series since sort of started at the end, then we'll go back to the beginning and come back up.
There you go.
All right. Getting there. We're getting there.
Just trying to add a little bit more saturation to the higher spots on the bear. And then I'm going to do a little bit of... I don't want to use that brush. It's a piece of shit.
Well, I keep my piece of shits around because sometimes they're exactly what I need.
No, there's nothing wrong with a piece of shit brush. It's just for what I want to do here. I want to do a little bit of true brush blending.
Now I
And
need to be really careful because I'm painting someone who's fully painted.
I just put soap in my mouth.
Oh, tasty.
God.
You're going to go blind now. I saw that movie.
My tongue... I should have used some lava. Or what was it? What was the name of the soap? It was Lifebuoy. I don't know.
Man,
1950s
going a little too
soap.
deep for me there, man. Like, name it. So, to be
1950s.
fair, I haven't seen A Christmas Story in years because I saw it like 47 times a year for many, many years in a row.
I hear you.
At a certain point, you're like, yeah, it's okay if I don't see it again for a couple years.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
It's still a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite Christmas movies. Saw it in the theater with my sister and her ex-boyfriend. Well, that time boyfriend. May have been boyfriend at the time. I don't really know. But I don't really talk to him anymore. I talk to her. She's related.
There you go. I got plenty of people I don't talk to that are related to
She's
me.
actually back in town. I don't know if you even know that, John. My sister moved back into town. It's cool.
Good on you. That's nice.
Yeah. My mom, I just need to, oh shit, you probably don't know this. My mom actually goes and sees movies with me sometimes.
Very nice.
I see a lot of the first run movies twice because I see it regular and then I see it with mom.
I remember when that. I remember you saying your mom had gone to see some movies with you.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice. I wish I could do that.
If we don't make it, I just, so here's a great story. I go over to her house. She needs me to do some stuff around the house, which is fine because, I mean, that's what sons do, right?
Right.
So we get, so I'm going out there and I'm like, okay, I'll bring Solo because she didn't get a chance to see Solo in the theater because it came out summerish, which is hard for her to make it because Bay Bridge is a goddamn super duper traffic, if you're wondering.
I liked me some Solo.
I did too. And, but so I get it and I'm like, all right, I got the 2-pack, perfect combo. Then I go look that morning before I'm going down there and I'm like, oh shit, it's only a Blu-ray. She doesn't have a Blu-ray player.
Oh, snap.
So I'm like, okay, this is easy solve, right? I'll go to Walmart. I'll buy, DVD copy. They don't have a DVD copy.
Shit.
So how does a good son solve this?
Buy a Blu-ray player.
You're goddamn right. I bought her a Bluray player.
Probably like $75 these days.
Yeah, they're not even that expensive. She's like, you bought me a Blu-ray player? I'm like, yeah, Mom, it's fine.
Aww.
She's like, you sure? Like, yeah, I'm sure, Mom, it's fine.
Aww.
And then later that year, I came back and I'm like, oh, and I've got an extension HDMI cable for you now because that one was a little short. Now you can move it around wherever you want to under your TV.
Aww. Hey, Ron.
Right. But yeah, she enjoyed the crap out of it. She enjoyed Justice League. She liked Aquaman. She just enjoys movies. She saw Star Trek Beyond without seeing the first two in that series and just rolled right into it.
Yeah, that's a good place to start with that series.
I like that series more now that it's basically complete. They're not going to do any more.
Yeah, it's
unless something weird happens.
Yep.
Which is too bad because I really feel like they found their footing there. But it was I really enjoyed Star Trek Beyond. Talking about movies,
I did too.
It was really good. I'm not sure it was the best in the series. It may actually be the best in the series, though.
No, I think it's best in the series.
I don't feel like arguing about it because I don't have enough of a position. I'll have to rewatch them all. Luckily, I've got a 3 Blu-ray set.
So here's where we're at with this guy. Whoops. Here, let's get him in frame. And
I'm not even sure I'm painting in frame, but hey, it is what it is, right?
yeah, oh yeah. And so I mean, I think he's okay for now. He's gonna get the love of the wash here before too long.
Yeah,
and
I think I don't know if you have the green one. You probably don't have the green wash handy.
Don't. I have. Let me take a look. I think I have a green wash. Let me see.
If it's too dark though, it'll be a little much. The thing about that one he's suggesting is that it's just light enough. It's sort of like the. I have a wash from Vallejo that's similar.
This one's called Coelia Green Shade. Coelia Green Shade.
Yeah.
It's not the one he mentioned, so I don't think I want to go with it.
You could try it on something if you have something handy, just to see what it looks like. But yeah, probably better safe than sorry, sir.
I think I'm better off going with the Seraphim Sepia, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely a good idea there. But without the proper paints handy, what can you do?
Yep. And it's not like I can just like stop the show and go get some.
I wish.
Yeah. So Crimson did confirm that it's way too bright, and that's fine. That's fine. So I mean, I think the thing I should probably do next is probably block in the armor. I'm gonna go with the same armor kind of thing that I did on this one. It's gonna be pretty much all the golds, with a little bit of silver thrown in, because silver and gold, silver and gold. There you go.
Well played. Well played.
All right. And the gold for tonight is going to be, of course, Rulic gold, my favorite of all golds.
I tell you, when you get the chance, and I know you're not going to get them in your store, I ordered mine online. The metallics from Scale 75, dude.
Bomb diggity, huh?
Legit as shit. Yeah, I love them.
Cool.
I use GW for some paints just because I can get them in a local store most of the time, but they're great. Also, you probably haven't tried them, but the Turbo Dork.
Have not heard of Turbo Dork.
I haven't tried all of them, but I tried one of their color shift colors. It was kind of interesting. I think I can actually show that off here. Give me a second. Reach across the universe. So, this guy has it on his the blue parts is sort of it's called 3D. It goes.
I like that.
You can kind of get a picture from the video. It actually shifts from the blue to that sort of reddish, the other end of the 3D spectrum. It's kind of interesting.
I really like it. That's from Turbo Dork, you said?
Turbo Dork. Yeah, I don't think this is the right model to show it off because all the cloth parts.
No, but I could definitely see it.
Yeah, I mean, I like it overall. It's pretty cool. I think it'd be better on one of these guys that's not so clothy, but this is what I had handy in a model that I could just go crazy on.
Yep.
They have a lot of colors like that, but it is the epitome of many, many, many thin coats.
Got it.
They say like 5 to 7.
Wow.
Yeah. And if you make a mistake and you need to go back over something, you need to paint it black first. It works over black. I'm sure there's other ways to make it work, but not as many people trying that out because shortly after that happened, GW dropped contrast paints and took all the hype.
Interesting.
But I liked it. I spent a lot of time playing with that. Actually, kind of like the overall. Yeah, that model looks.
Stormcast Eternals, right?
Stormcast again. I'll do that. What's up?
Stormcast Eternals, right?
Yep. That is one of my 2 Age of Sigmar armies. My other ones are trolls or Troggoths. Because how can you not play an army? You're like, I can play all trolls? Okay. And that army is blunt force trauma to the forehead, I tell you.
And nothing like it.
There's no subtlety in that army.
The Age of Sigmar army that I think if I were to buy some models for, I think I'd buy the Sylvan.
They're cool. They've got shenanigans and fuckery.
Just not so much for the game, but just I like the way they look.
So I will say lots of bad things about the game, but at the end of the day, it's a hoot. As long as you're not trying to play it seriously. If you're trying it seriously, it's no God. Like my buddies are trying. The other crew is trying to get ready for Nova, and they're playing Age of Sigmar in the tournament. I'm like, what? Why are you
in a tournament?
Okay.
Huh?
Okay, Age of Sigmar tournament. Good luck. No, I choose life. I mean, GW games. Let's be honest. GW games are not made for tournaments. That's not even their goal is to make a tournament game. They make a game that you want to play with your buddies. And yep, me and my buddy PD did that, and a couple games. And oh look, I got the double turn. He's like, all right, well you're gonna win, because there are turns where if you get the double turn, which is because at the end of a I go you go, we roll, and if I win, I would go again, and you would go after me.
Yep, I've watched like Gorilla Miniatures and Owen play with Ash. So I've watched me some Age of Sigmar.
And I do not like that rule. Still don't like that rule, but it's a rule of the game, and it is what it is. But you have to be ready for it. Then you have to go like, okay, look, I know this is coming. It can be part of the game. and just try not to rage when it happens to you, because you will lose games because of it.
Yeah, just because you end up with that tide coming over the top of you.
Yep, it's to the point where people have gone the opposite. Usually people would make their lists very tight to guarantee first turn, because whoever gets done deploying first goes first.
Got it.
Well, actually now it's whoever goes, apparently everyone read the rules, it's whoever gets done deploying first chooses who has first turn, so they will give it to their opponent so that they have the chance for the double turn.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's a little too meta for me. I'm like, it should not be that cut and dry, but it is what it is, you know? I'm not a game designer in that game, or any game right now. I'm not even playtesting any games right now.
Oh, you're not playtesting for the Star Wars stuff anymore?
Nope. We apparently they sent a message where we needed to, our boss, our chief, let's say, needed to tell him that we were renewing, and then we realized 3 months later, like, oh, we never did that, and then we realized, we're okay with that. We weren't playing enough of the stuff that's there. We don't play enough of any game really to play test. I mean, I'll be honest, the only game we could play test right now would be the Transformers card game, because myself and Banyan, my roommate, can play that whenever.
Gotcha.
It's easier, and it was a lot of the same people. It was me and Not Brushhead Dave and Bowie, mostly me and Not Brushhead Dave or me and Bowie, testing every time, and it's a lot when you're just testing new models all the time,
Sometimes
and not playing with the stuff that's out.
Right. Takes some of the fun out of it.
It does. You don't learn. We didn't learn enough of the old stuff. We were a little behind on everything. It just became a chore, and it should never become a chore.
I understand completely.
I mean, not saying we didn't have a good time. It was good fun. seeing some stuff is coming out. We've known about stuff for a while. I think they've just about announced everything I know. And if they haven't, I'm not going to tell you guys, because I'm not supposed to.
Well, then that's fine.
But yeah, so I mean, be aware if anyone ever offers you to playtest, think long and hard about it. We gave a discussion last time we were at Marshall's place, like, do you want to get back in? And I'm like, I'm okay if we don't. We don't plan. I mean, we're all sort of Malifaux right now. We're all very shiny quarter. We're modern gamers. We're shiny quarter.
Fair enough.
New game comes out, we're like, we should play that game. I mean, like I said last week, when they announced the Marvel game, Marshall was like, John, read the rules. Are we in or not?
There you go.
Oh. All right, well, we're going to take a little break there before we go to the next color. Show off this base I did a while ago.
Oh, that's very nice, John. That's very nice.
What's up?
I said that's very nice.
Thank you. I'm very pleased that I was going to get all these bases for them, and then I realized there was no way I was going to paint anything this intricate.
Yeah.
For every model. But I like Amanozaki. It was the first Oni. I'm actually touching up the color scheme to make it match what I've got here now. Because the whole Malifaux is all keyword based now, so Onis work together. I mean, I could work other stuff with it, but in general, the Onis work together.
Oni work together?
Well, so Onis work together. You work by keywords. So when you make your list,
that was a joke. Oni?
Oh,
they Oni work together.
They work together. I get you.
Cha-cha.
These are the jokes, ladies and gentlemen. These are the jokes.
Painting with Menoth John. We're a comedy podcast with a painting problem.
No. Do we want to tell them our new tagline? The one I made up on the pre-ramble?
I'll let you have it.
All right. Painted with Menoth John. This podcast gave me the Rons.
Hey, Rons! Very nice.
Oh, that is so tasty. I'm telling you, John. Tasty.
Tasty. Someday I'll have to get some more Kraken. Today's not that day.
Today is not that day.
What do we say to the Kraken man? Not today.
More, please? Oh, wait, sorry. That's me.
I think my dog just farted. It's disgusting in here.
Don't judge. Don't fart shame.
This has been the Golden Doodle Fart update for the Painting with Menoth John show.
There you go. Let's go here. I'm gonna.
Yay, we're making fart noises.
Poorly, but let's start with some black on here to paint this bit.
There you go.
See if I can do it without messing anything up. Spoiler, the answer is probably no, because I do not have the brush control.
Hashtag brush
That's right.
control.
That's what touch-ups are for.
Hashtag brush control.
Yeah, honestly. If you can learn one skill in painting, brush control, it will make you faster. Also, I think I put that coat on a little thick. That previous coat. Oh well. I could fix it, but I'm not going to.
Not right now. Today's not that day.
Yeah. I already fixed one base. The one test base I did, I got some, this is, I mean, you call it lazy, but I'm like, I really need acetone to fix stuff.
Oh.
I could shop at CVS, but CVS isn't really on the way, ever. So instead I just ordered from Amazon.
There you go.
Because, I mean, that's what I do. Alright, a little bit there. Yeah, not too bad. I'll do some touch-ups on that. Excuse me.
We'd rather you support your local game store, not your local CVS.
Don't worry, my local game store gets plenty of support for me. I mean, come on, you had the third set of Transformers come out the same day that Malifaux 3rd Edition came out. I mean, I'll be honest, if they got the bases I wanted in on their own, I would get them there, but at a certain point, you're like, I'm just going to order them online. You guys have all my money anyways.
Fair enough.
There's a point where it's like, I don't feel like waiting for you to get exactly what it is.
Promin3 just subscribed. I don't know what that does, but it made a fancy sound.
Yeah, and there's this little zombie running. Awesome.
I know, right?
Thanks, JPromin3. We appreciate it.
That's what we appreciate about you.
Pop in the chat room. Say hi to everyone.
Yeah.
Or not. Your choice.
Brushhead Nation is a kindly group.
Yeah.
And now you're a part of it.
Inclusive group. That is what we're about. Inclusivity, not exclusivity.
That's right.
I've been drinking too much to say that word too much. Exclusivity is bullshit.
I think we've got a lot of people in here that are good people.
Yeah.
Of all the podcasts that have people that watch, we have the best.
I would agree. And of course, most of you guys actually watch More Than Dice also, so double good. All right, do I want to do the rest? Let's do the rest. It's the basoning. Let's continue basoning. Let's knock someone over. That helps, right?
Absolutely, especially if it's like the paint water.
No. Paint water's way back there in hold on, in these little jars.
Aha.
So I can seal them up when I'm not in use, and then everything's good. I realized just how close that camera is, and you couldn't see shit of that, but
I saw some of it.
I'm not, even though I spoiled maybe crotch cam, no crotch cam because I'd have to really just focus on it.
It's okay.
It's not to be accidental, and that would not be bueno.
We're not going to crotch cam tonight, folks. You can't tune into this show expecting crotch cam all the time. That wouldn't be right.
No.
We got to have a little mystery, right?
Let's save something for the highlights.
We could put a compilation special together with all the crotch cam.
Are those highlights or lowlights? I don't really know.
Depends on how big the base you're using to cover up the crotch cam.
Hey-o!
Oh, that's a callback.
I mean, I got a night base around here somewhere. They're pretty big.
I mean, I have podcasted drunk before, but that was...
that was something else.
That was unprecedented.
I'm pretty sure you ended up with underwear on your head.
I'm 99.9% sure I did. And that other tenth of a percent can sod off.
That's your upcycling. No, man, you didn't do that. There's no way you were that drunk.
Oh God, look at that. There's my underwear on my head.
That was a good time. It was for charity, so it's all good.
Heck yeah, juvenile diabetes got all that cash.
There's a lot of fun in podcasting for charity, knowing you're doing crazy stuff for a good cause. Oh, patron exclusive crotch cam? Oh shit.
Well, if we are ever to do a you know what, you give a little donation there to the a sufficient donation to the Painting with Menoth John Fund, we'll do crotch cam. I'm the original podcast whore.
I mean, So I'm thinking, I mean, is it possible to have an extra stream that only patrons can see? You could just hook up a crotch cam and they go over.
Uh-oh. Are you there, John? Ladies and gentlemen, John was discussing the crotch cam and his and it hung up on him. Ladies and gentlemen, that is something right there. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's on my end or if it's on his. I'm going to put this bear down and attempt to reestablish contact with the co-host, with the mo-host. Let's try this over here. Let's see here. We are going to recall him. See what happens. Folks, for those of you playing it along at home, the show experienced some technical difficulties when we started to discuss crotch cam. Whoops. Wow. Technology, it's our friend. Let's see. Huh. Nobody knows what's going on. I'm going to see if John just calls me back. We'll see if that happened, because our timing seems to have been pretty rough. I'm going to try and also contact him via the internets. All right. There it is. All right. I think... John, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, there you go. Your camera was froze up on us. We were talking about crotch cam, and then the Russians got us. And I think it was Moscow Mitch got us. And
Possible.
And shut us down.
Well, that was my internet. I think every once in a while my internet goes a little wonky.
Would that be Matthew Wonky or Dave Wonky?
I'm not sure which one, but it goes a little bit of one of them.
Okay. Well, you know, it could have been either one of them. I'm not feeling like I want to paint anymore on this thing. Let's see here. I'm going to maybe just touch up a little bit here with the gold, just because I've got the gold and I don't want to be wasteful. But I think that's pretty damn good progress for a single set. I for right now I'm still struggling to get, you know, my endurance at painting is not what it used to be.
Well, it's hard to get in the zone sometimes.
I can, well, I mean, you know, but we went almost a whole hour. It's almost, you know, legit time for the movie section.
Oh wow. Yeah, I'm still going on. Let's start the other color for my bases here.
So, folks, next week there will be no Painting with Men off John Wednesday night extravaganza. I will be auf Deutschland, which means I'm going to be in Germany for those of you playing along at home. I'm going to be doing some work outside the country, short trip. Just going to be going out on a Monday, coming back on a Friday, and going through Amsterdam. And I do get the night in Amsterdam before I fly out the next day. So, yeehaw! One of my favorite cities in the whole world. What's that, John?
No, I was saying you're still a little bit of world traveler in you.
Oh yeah. So I mean, I'm guessing that I've got this trip to Germany, and then I probably got one more in the fall, and then there's another project that could have me going to a different part of Germany. I still get some out there. This trip should cement my diamond status for 2020.
Oh wow!
Which is the highest you can get on Delta, and that's pretty good stuff.
I was on some good Delta airlines on the way down to Nashville.
Which Delta?
I was on some bad ones too.
Yeah, I mean, in general, I like Delta. I think they do pretty good for me.
They were okay.
I'm gonna put it back on my face cam here, because you're still on yours.
I was trying to bring some face protection just in case.
On Delta?
Yeah. That is a callback.
Indeed.
To news.
So let's see. Wonder what else is going on. Go ahead, John.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I'm just kind of taking a look to see. I think we've got. I can't tell how many people we have watching the show.
Looks like 6 or 7.
Yeah, that's a good number.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's midweek.
I know, like, Brett Painter occasionally has Malifaux on Wednesday night, so he ain't always going to be here and all, you know.
Yep. Sandwich Bandit first of all, we have not seen your name in the chat room, so thank you very much. Hopefully you'll have enjoyed the show enough to want to subscribe to this nonsense. And if you do, it'll make a zombie run on the screen, which we like very much if we could see that again. They do feed you too much on international flights because literally the only thing you're doing is eating and sitting there. I'm flying business class this time, so that'll be nice.
So on my flights, of the 3 airplanes or the 4 airplanes I went on, 2 of them I had no one in the middle seat, so it was awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then one I had sort of crammed in a corner, and the other one was just normal, but it was still fine. But because I had skinny people on either side of me.
So the interesting,
I am not a skinny person.
The interesting thing that they do on business class is, and I'm surprised I haven't gotten the email yet, is they say, we'd like you to choose your meal ahead of time. Now that's really smart because then they don't have waste.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea, especially in the international ones. You're not necessarily, reusing that. It's only so much you can use.
Right.
To be fair, though, I haven't got anything more than chips or crackers on a plate, but I don't fly that far.
On international flights, even in coach, they give you a pretty decent meal, and it's all the booze you can swell, for the most part. But so I fly from Milwaukee to Atlanta, and then Atlanta to Amsterdam, and the reason I'm going through Atlanta is because it maximizes my miles to make the flight, and I'm trying to get
the Delta hub.
Right, and it's exactly, and what I'm trying to get over the hump on the diamond status, so that'll carry me through for next year. Because
I feel like you might be glutton for punishment going through Atlanta, because fuck Atlanta airport. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, I get it.
I landed in, basically I landed and had to run all the way to the center to go on the tram, which had just left, so I ran all the way to the next gate and had to run all the way to the other end just to make my flight. Because they landed us at a different one than we were supposed to. We were supposed to land maybe 10 or 12 gates down. So, a brisk walk, nothing crazy, plenty of time. And then they're like, nope, they landed us in a whole different area of the airport, so good luck. And apparently that happens a lot.
It does. And they do have a sneaky habit of bringing you in at the end of the concourse and sending the end of the concourse in a different concourse, so that it makes it be as long a walk as possible. So
well, the good thing about being 330 pounds of John is no one gets in your way when you're moving.
Well, there you go.
Oh, he's small. Oh, he's not small. Get the hell out of your way. Oh man, I tell you, before the wash, these bases look just like so messy and ugly, and then after the wash, they look pretty good.
Yeah. No, I think they're gonna look pretty cool. Now, are those resin or are those MDF or what are those?
Oh, those are resin. They're secret weapon miniatures.
Got it.
They provide all of my Malifaux bases because I pay for them.
Special shout out to Tectonic Craft Studios. They don't sponsor our show, but shout out to Arky Dan and the team over there.
All right. I think we're almost at media section, so I am going to switch back to the face cam and and call that a done basoning part 1. We will do basoning part 2 tomorrow on the Facebooks.
I have to agree with Sandwich Bandit. O'Hare is my least favorite airport. O'Hare is a shit show. It makes no sense. There's no rhyme or reason to it. At least in Atlanta, I know I've got to go to the hub, get to the hub, and get somewhere else. O'Hare, it's like, who knows? Actually, I'll take the back. JFK in New York is the worst. Fuck JFK. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the that part of the show we like to call it the media section. We're going to turn over the majority of the shenanigans and whatnots to the co-host with the mo-host, Mr. John Spencer. By the way, remember, folks, you can get one of those swank T-shirts he's wearing this evening by going down there to the swag shop and getting your swag on. I just noticed that like part of your room is invading on my my window, but that's because I think it's because I shifted something over here. So I'm gonna try and fix this. Nope, wrong
Oh, you
way.
need to put yours on top. You need
Oh,
to be on top, man.
there you go. Gotcha. And then I'm gonna do this. So yeah, we fix this stuff in real time. We're not gonna BS you on this show. We're not gonna BS you even
No.
a little bit. Okay, there we go. And then we're gonna transition this, and boom, there you go. All better. All right, John, you have started watching the Fasts and the Furiouses, and you are here today to tell us all about
Yeah,
that
I watched
that deep drama.
deep drama. Yeah. No. Family. It's about family.
A family drama.
In fact, honestly, every time they say family drink, you'll be okay for the first couple, and then eventually you are done.
It turns into a.
So to follow up on
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was saying to follow up on Sean Hobbs from last week. I watched the Fast and the Furious, the first one, a couple of weeks ago, and then I watched Too Fast, Too Furious Monday because I'm looking for a movie to watch. I'm like, what the hell? Let's get the second one out of the way. So the Fast and the Furious is from the 90s. It is Vin Diesel and Paul Walker, Michelle Rodriguez before she could act, and no one else of consequence, really.
Fair enough.
I'm serious. Michelle Rodriguez cannot act in that movie. She is terrible.
And maybe, John, that's why I
Paul
never
Walker
made
is
it
still-
any further in that series.
Yet the first movie does not hold up as well as I thought it did. It is basically just point blank, just changed a little bit. Because Paul Walker's a cop, he's infiltrating Vin Diesel's gang because they think maybe Vin Diesel or some other street racer is stealing DVD players from the backs of semi trucks. I'm sorry, the plot's a little rough nowadays. But it is an enjoyable movie. It's got some cool car scenes. It's got some interesting stuff. It's not the standard shoot 'em up action movie that there is some guns and fist fights and all. But it's just sort of an amusing ride. I can't really say there is a great standout scene anymore. It doesn't really have like the sort of standout scene that you hope for in a movie, and it's just sort of there now.
Okay.
You watch, it gives you the basics of the story. You do kind of need to see it so you know everything that's going on later. And it's not like a bad watch, but it's pure mediocrity at this point.
Okay. So, but you do feel like it's necessary to watch the movie in order to get a frame of reference for the rest of the series?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'll get to it in two, but the series sort of left turns a bit, but then it comes back onto that same road, picking up that story sort of in progress, and you'll need it to know what's going on to keep to keep in the know, so to speak.
Got it.
But it is good. I mean, Vin Diesel's amusing. Young Vin Diesel had great charisma, and he just leaned on it. It's before he got a little too big for his britches. There are scenes in some other movies where he gets a little much. Where he thinks he's the biggest draw, and sometimes you're not the biggest draw, Vin Diesel. I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
Not the biggest draw. Paul Walker's amusing, but still young, feeling his way. It's one of his first movies, so
Okay.
you don't hold it against him. Michelle Rodriguez has been in a couple movies. She was not doing anything great in this movie. I mean, what can I say? I can call him like I see him.
No, that's fair.
But overall, it's amusing. I'm going to give it a good solid 2 to 2.5 shots of Kraken. It is pretty much a standard action movie at this point. I can put it on the background and hobby or make decks or do whatever with it on. So that just sort of shows that it's pretty standard action.
Very good. Very good. But now you move on to the second one, Too Fast and Too Furious.
Yes, Too Fast, Too Furious, because they needed the most 90s title ever for that shit.
Exactly. So now what's the plot synopsis of this one?
The plot synopsis is Paul Walker's character is on the run because he helped Vin Diesel escape into the last one because he owed him a 3-second car, so he gave him his car so he could leave.
Okay.
It's an honorable thing to do. I respect that. Plus, he loved him sort of like Keanu Reeves loved Patrick Swayze at the end of Point Break.
Okay.
So let him go. So they're after him. They end up catching him, and they give him a deal where they need him to pose as a driver, convenient since he's a driver, to get into this suspected drug man's confidence and catch him with his drug money all in the same place so they can arrest his ass.
Well, there you go.
So it's like standard 90s plot B.
Okay.
And this one is like they set up some scenes well. Now God, I can't believe I'm saying this shit. The cast is much better in this movie. God, that came out of my mouth. I actually do not want to punch Tyrese in the face during this movie, which is impressive. Most movies I want to punch him in the face.
But not this one.
Not this one. He's okay. He scaled it back. There's only so many main characters. He doesn't need to be a caricature.
Got it.
Chris Ludacris Bridges is actually enjoyable to watch. I think he can be a great character actor in movies. I hope I see him in more stuff. I mean that from my heart. He's enjoyable to watch. He feels sort of real. You're like, okay, that guy's good. The rest of the actors, they've got James Remar as the customs agent who's getting them in that. They bring back the FBI guy that Paul Walker's character was working with from the first one. So, bonus for that. They have a beautiful woman for Paul Walker to be interested in, even though he had sort of a love affair in the first one. Is what it is.
Sure.
They weren't really sure where they were going. But the big thing is they get him, and he can't work with any of these stupid guys who don't know cars. They need to get him an actual driver to be his partner.
Got it.
So he goes to his childhood buddy, Roman Pierce, played by Tyrese, who shortly after Paul Walker became a cop got a sting operation and got sent to jail, which wasn't Paul Walker's fault, but Tyrese still claims him for that. And it's the standard thing. It's got Cole Hauser as a bad guy. He plays a pretty good bad guy. You would know him as you probably wouldn't know him. He's not been in a lot of movies, but in Pitch Black, he's the bounty hunter guy.
Oh, okay. Yep, I remember him.
Vin Diesel. I enjoy him. He's enjoyable in movies. He plays a good bad guy. I think the biggest fault of this movie is it doesn't really develop a goddamn thing. It makes the bad guy a character bad guy so bad, like he ends up deciding he's going to kill the drivers after they drop all the stuff, which you would not do. That's just terrible business. No one works for you again.
Exactly.
Yep. So they just make him sort of a character bad guy, which they have a habit of doing a little bit as the series goes on. Spoilers.
Yeah.
But he's still fairly enjoyable to watch. The female lead, whose name I forget, Daisy Fuentes, something like that.
Sure.
Daisy Fuentes was an MTV anchor, right?
Something like that. Yeah. She was Boombalati.
I got the wrong name. Let's save us.
Engage internet.
Save us. Eva Mendes. Jesus Christ, I'm terrible. So yeah, Eva Mendes is the female, and she's sort of like an undercover customs agent and working with them. So it's an enjoyable story. The whole idea is it's a buddy cop, but neither one's really cops. It's got some really good scenes, some good races, some solid action. A really fun ending scene where they're like driving around and then they sort of pull a Kansas City Shuffle on people. You remember the Kansas City Shuffle where they look left, you go right?
Yep.
Where they pull into a warehouse and then the cops surround the warehouse because the cops aren't in on it and the cops are basically being problems for both the customs agents and our heroes, our protagonists. And they come out with all these pickup trucks and they ram the cop cars out of the way, and then just street racers everywhere. They're all going out. They got other people driving their cars. They're following them like, oh, look, we're one of them. And then they go out in cars that they had won in a street race earlier as part of the movie. Not like, oh, we did this when you weren't watching. As a plot point of the movie, they run out in those cars and get away because no one's looking for them. So, enjoyable. It's a little crazy at points. This starts its flirtation with leaving physics for not physics. They do, first off, in the first opening race, which is pretty amusing, they jump a drawbridge to the point where the one guy's going, he's in the lead, he jumps, and then Paul Walker hits his nitrous and jumps over him while they're going over the drawbridge thing.
Well, there you go.
So, a little crazy.
Yep.
At this point, the movie and physics decided they could see other people.
Always an important part of an action movie.
Yeah, and then at the end they jump a car into a boat, into a yacht, because that's what you do when they've got a yacht and you've got a car. You jump the car into the yacht.
That's what it's for.
Yeah. So pretty amusing. Tyrese and Paul Walker have some solid chemistry. Honestly, Ludacris and Paul Walker have much better chemistry. He'd be a much better partner, but they were a little worried. I guess Tyrese is coming off the high of being in the first Transformers movie.
There you go.
Yeah. So enjoyable. I actually going to give it 2 shots of crack. It is a better movie. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it is.
Wow. Well, there you go, folks. You know, we're going to claim exclusive rights to the review of all the rest of the Fast and Furious movies. There's like, what, 42 of them?
6, and I probably won't watch one of them.
Okay, that's fine. But we're
because Tokyo Drift is not really related to the series, and if I watch them chronologically, it doesn't happen for quite some time.
Well, there you go.
Even though it's the third. Don't ask.
Nope, that's fine. So there you go, folks. This week I watched. I finished watching because it's on Netflix. I finished watching, rewatching Neon Genesis Evangelion, and then they also have both the movies on there. And so the 2 movies that go along with it are End of Evangelion, and then there's the one that is like Truth Squared or some nonsense. But long story short, Neon Genesis Evangelion, landmark, groundbreaking robo mecha sort of anime that kind of
legendary.
legendary starts losing its mind halfway through the series. And the most common kind of criticism of the anime is that the last 2 episodes are ruin the series, and that's what you'll hear some people say. And the last 2 episodes, so this was my second time through the anime, and I got to the last 2 episodes, and I strapped in. I was ready for. You have to kind of mentally gird yourself for the last 2 episodes, and I watched it, and I went, "Well, this is more coherent than I thought it was." I remember watching it originally and going, "This is a 40-plus minute fever dream, and I don't understand it, and I don't know where it's going." And then I watched it again, and it made more sense. So by the time, spoilers, but honest to God, folks, if you haven't watched Evangelion by now,
Yeah, I mean, it's years old almost.
Yeah, it's plenty old. Towards the end of the episode, Shinji, who might be the most annoying teenager in anime history, starts to kind of melt down, and the last 2 episodes are kind of, you're going through him examining his own psyche and what it means to be alive and what it means to be a part of society. But it's played off in lots of like flashes and little bit parts and different characters talking to him in some rather disturbing imagery, and it ends up with him deciding that it's what's important to understand is that you are the culmination of all the people that you meet, and everybody that you meet that touches you and makes up part of your heart. And he decides to finally accept that and be part and allow people into him and allow people to be a part of his life, and without being scared of being hurt. He knows they could be hurt, but he accepts that as part of the deal. And the anime ends. So what ends up being is this 24 episodes of robots beating the piss out of each other is so that a kid can figure out that it's okay to open your heart to others. Then I watched the movie End of Evangelion. And my recollection of End of Evangelion was that it was a better ending than the series. As a 51-year-old watching it, I couldn't have been more wrong. It is.
Is that the Orange Tang one?
Yes, in this one, it essentially turns the end of the anime into an action movie, and Nerve gets invaded by Sailey, which is the kind of the spooky, deep state that wants to cause the third impact and basically end human civilization, and everybody dies, and the instrumentality project goes off, and everybody turns into orange glop and melts into an ocean of orange glop, except Shinji and Asuka. And that's where the movie ends, for the most part.
That's a very Japanese ending.
It's a very Japanese ending, and I don't hate them for that, but it is so much more nihilist than even the 2-episode tone poem that ends in people applauding. It added nothing to it, and then I started to watch the second movie, which basically the first 40 minutes is the whole series of Evangelion in 40 minutes.
Oh wow.
And then the second half of it is the first half of the end of Evangelion. So they released a movie that's essentially a synopsis followed by half a movie. And they called that a thing. And I went, nope, I'm out. I hit the eject button and did not watch the second movie. But Evangelion is it's worth watching. If you haven't watched it, it's on Netflix. It doesn't get to it hasn't been on Netflix very long. It had been forever for it to get there. You owe it to yourself to at least experience it. Be prepared to hate the shit out of Shinji. And
so I love the intro. Like the intro to it.
Yeah, it's a rave up.
It's great. Good. It makes me feel like UFO past. It's great.
Yep.
Beyond that, I got about 6 episodes in, and I'm like, this is not my jam. So I ejected at that point.
Yeah, fair enough.
Back in the 90s or whatever.
So Asuka's annoyingness got to you, huh?
The whole thing, I'm just like, this is not what I want. I don't detract from it. I don't ever say it was bad. It's just sometimes you watch something like, this isn't for me.
Yeah. So
and then you eject.
Did you enjoy Cowboy Bebop?
I fucking love Cowboy Bebop.
Okay. So
best anime ever.
I think we can make the statement that Faye Valentine is a truly tragic character.
Yes, absolutely.
And when her storyline wraps in Cowboy Bebop, it is a heart-wrenching moment in anime.
It's fucking heavy.
Yeah, it's super heavy. Believe it or not, you start to care enough about Asuka that when shit goes sideways for Asuka around episode 22, that it's like, nah, come on, she can't. But the movie fucked it all up by having her end be way different, and that I was not good with.
This is why they don't remake something like Game of Thrones to give you a better ending, because sometimes you need to stick with the ending you made.
Yeah.
Because you might just fuck up worse.
Yeah, so I would say Evangelion is a solid 3 shots of Kraken, because when you get to the last 3 or 4 episodes, you're going to need to be a little bit on the toasty side to pull yourself through it. But overall, it's a must-watch.
It's a must-watch. It is groundbreaking. At least watch some of it. Watch that intro on YouTube or something. I love that intro. It's masterpiece of craftsmanship.
Yep. And then go out and watch Cowboy Bebop and watch a better and then watch Cowboy Bebop and just watch a better anime.
Yeah, no doubt.
So,
but I'm kind of picky on my giant robot animes. I'm a Robotech guy.
Yeah.
Robotech doesn't necessarily hold up as well, but I think it holds up almost as well as Evangelion, if you consider the age difference between the two.
Yep. Next time we're together, I will do since anime. I've been watching some animes recently. I watched Gurren Lagann. And we'll talk about Gurren Lagann.
I'm interested to hear your thoughts on that, because it's on my list, which is rare because I don't get many anime on my list anymore.
Yeah, so we'll talk about Gurren Lagann. If you get a chance, folks, you won't hate yourself. Go and watch it between now and then I'll give you my thoughts on it. because I'm probably going to download it and watch the series again while I'm going to Germany.
Cool.
So, yeah.
So the last thing I'm going to talk about is the Cybertronic Spree, which is a sort of Transformer-themed band.
Yes, I've seen their videos. I saw them doing the Immigrant song. It's pretty badass.
RC's got some pipes on her, huh?
Mm-hmm. She can sing her ass off.
So the weird thing about this band is they're not like a big band by any stretch of the imagination. Don't think that. And it really shows a lot of times because they're not as polished as big bands get. They do stuff that's outside, a bigger band with a different manager who's only worried about one thing would be like, no, don't do that song because it doesn't fit your guys' vocal style. To which they go, no, screw you, it's a Transformer song, we're doing it.
Yep.
They did a Kickstarter where they basically did covers of the entire Transformers soundtrack from 1986.
Sweet.
And I of course backed it, and I got that this week, and I've listened to it since it's in my car about 5 times so far, and it's great. They're not all pitch perfect or anything, but they've got heart. They put it in there, and some of them they turn into sort of duets rather than just just one or the other singing.
Yeah. And
some of them benefit from it. Some of them they don't do as well. I mean, they're not ever going to be that super polished, high quality band. They're always going to be that sort of third tier, garage rock sort of band, and it's awesome for that. I do love it. I'm absolutely getting my money's worth out of that Kickstarter. Happy to support them. I check their stuff out on YouTube. Enjoy the crap out of it. And I love the way they just all get into costume. They sort of stay vaguely in character on stage, which is amusing as heck. And if you want a short song to let you know if you think RC's got some pipes on her or not, they have a cover of The Hero, or i.e. the theme song from One Punch Man. And if that doesn't sell you on her, then I don't know what will.
There you go. I highly recommend it.
The song's good. But this just sells you on her immediately because it just goes right into it.
Yeah, they're amusing as hell, and she's got some genuine talent.
Yeah, and they give you a show. They can't do a lot of the moving around. They don't seem as high energy as other bands because they're not like bouncing around from one side to the other because they're in fucking costume.
And their costumes are serious business.
Transformers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's great. We got to support bands that are small like this. If they play some stuff you like it, if you like the Transformers soundtrack, you're gonna enjoy their covers of them. They're like I said, they're a little more in some cases synthy because they have 2 keyboardists. They have Quintesson and RC both play the keyboard, so they can do some more stuff. But on that, they even did like the musical notes that Vince DiCola and all did for the Transformers movie, like the Death of Optimus Prime, the Escape, the Battle. They did that soundtrack music as well. It was great. Like, hats off. They did a great job on that. I give that 0 shots of crack, and I will listen to that in the car all the time.
Hot damn. Well, there you go, folks. There you have you've got some anime, you got some movies, you got some music. We'll, like we said on this show before, we'll sell you the whole podcast, but you're probably going to need the media section. Folks, that's our show for tonight. By the way, before we go, I do want to, and I'm going to fix this for next week so that the Facebook chat shows up in my Restream.io chat, so I can keep track of it.
Uh-oh.
But I wanted to give a shout out to Ryan Goes, the Minister of Great Times, who joined us in the chat room over on the Facebooks. Wonderful to see a long-time legendary brushhead in there. We had Fraser Belfour in there. He was kicking it. All kinds of great people there in the Facebooks. Thank you all for joining us this evening.
Absolutely.
On behalf of the co-host I better start the goddamn music. There we go. See?
Double check the music. I don't think the intro music worked.
Should be working now.
Hopefully it is.
Yeah, I hope it is.
Re-listen later.
If you're hearing music, tell us. It's not that we're going to fix it.
2 weeks to the next show. John's out of the country next week, so 2 weeks.
That's right. Not next week, the week after. But on behalf of the co-host with the mo-host, Mr. John Spencer, I am, of course, Menoth John. We're going to see you here in 2 weeks for the Painting with Menoth John Wednesday night extravaganza. Remember, Get out there and donate if you can hear. Oh, he can hear music. Get on down there and donate to the food bank of Racine because we're going to give all that money to people who really need some help. Good night, everybody.